I became involved in the early days of its formation. 1995 was the year of its formation, incorporation. I got involved soon thereafter as the organization was starting to build on the good work done by the Martello Tower Society, its predecessor. People like Michael Davies, Evelyn Flint, Wally Viner, Red Shadbolt, all involved with that embryonic organization.
It was in 2000, and I was invited on the board by Jeannie Rosen, who was at that time the second president of the Community Foundation for Greater Kingston, as it was known in those days. And for those of you who knew Jeannie, she was a very powerful, influential leader in our community and philanthropist.
I became aware of the foundation when I was working at KPMG. Jerry Brake, who was a partner in our office and was looking at having somebody replace him. I came along at the time, so I stepped into his role as treasurer at that time.
What got me interested in the Community Foundation was the fact that my parents were always interested in this sort of thing. And your parents really have a huge influence on you. So I knew that they were part of the Red Cross, I knew that they contributed to the United Way, et cetera, et cetera. So it's part of my upbringing.
Well, to be quite frank about the matter, the foundation was not on my radar at all. Well, in my work, I have had a lot of experience writing grants, a lot of experience getting the money in my hands, and a lot of experience sitting on grant panels. So I said, grants should be a piece of cake.
Fairly significant donation that had come in, and people were talking around the board table wondering what the connection of this individual who had left this gift in their will, what the connection was to the Community Foundation. Because when Jeannie came up and said, well, that was somebody that she had interacted with a number of years ago who had been interested and had contributed to the foundation in a small way. And while she couldn't do anything at the time, had never forgotten her ties to the foundation and left a significant donation in her will. And there's a lot of seeds that get planted throughout people's lifetime there where they're impacted by something, and it's never forgotten. And that's, a lot of the times the foundation benefits from that. It's not necessarily what you did today, it's what you did along the road many years ago.
I joined later that year, I associated with it, became a board member in '96. And it was through my long-time friendship with Michael Davies, who is the founding president, but also the former owner and publisher of the Kingston Whig Standard. And I had worked with Michael at the hospital, the KGH Foundation, and also at Queen's. And he shared with me early on the idea of the Community Foundation and what it could possibly become for this community. It sounded like it had great promise, and knowing he was involved in our connection, he pulled me in.
And I was drawn to the Community Foundation particularly because I grew up in rural Alberta, and as you probably know, in rural communities, everybody counts on each other for entertainment, for socialization, for help. And our parents were both very involved in the community and taught their 3 children the value and the importance of giving back and contributing. So that's what I try to do in every community I've lived in: Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Ottawa, Kingston. And the Community Foundation was a natural for me.
The idea of building permanent endowment, while was familiar to me working with the university and also with the hospital to some extent, but was not really an idea well understood broadly in the community. And the power, in my view, of enduring endowment, well invested, creating a perpetual stream of income, can have real impact. And this was one that was not focused on any one institution, but rather would become an institution for the community. And that I thought was powerful. And we've done a lot since.
Oh yeah, the speaker series. We decided to have a group of people, lunches once a month, and have somebody who would talk about Kingston and the problems it had and how we could resolve them. And we had a panel. We would ask questions of the speaker afterwards. Everybody would stay for lunch and we'd mingle and talk to everybody else. And it really helped spread the word about the Community Foundation.
Organization incorporated in '95, publicly launched for the first time so that anyone was aware of it in late 1996, and to have a goal to have $1 million under management by the end of 1998, if memory serves, is not that long a time frame, 24 months-ish. I recall that Elaine and Michael Davies did a matching gift challenge, and even they were surprised by how quickly the funds were matched. And the foundation achieved that goal by the end of 1998. So that was a pretty exciting milestone.
We had garden parties every year, and we would invite all the donors to come, and it was at my house because I have a big garden. And it was very, very popular. The director would give a speech and we'd thank everybody, and it was just a wonderful way to get all our donors together and they could talk to one another. And that makes a huge difference too, I think.
So building something from 1995 that should be here for all time to serve this community and the region more broadly, no small undertaking, and the team is doing an excellent job. For a while, people used to think that the Community Foundation would compete with other charities, and the understanding of it being a collaborator and a partner was really misunderstood in the early days, and so people would back away. But in fact, it's probably the best organization, best positioned to build collaboration and integrate shared interests across the community. We should just acknowledge that this organization is doing very good work, meaningful work in this community. It's the reason that my wife Janine and I chose it as the destination for our legacy gift, because we believe it will be carefully managed, wisely invested, and ultimately the disbursements made from the fund will be utilized in the greater good of this community and the region beyond, hopefully for all time.